Hi everyone, this is Noorena Shams, live with Athletes by Magnus. This is the first ever time that we're introducing such kind of initiative where we are taking athletes live. बहुत सी जगहों पे हमने देखा है कि बहुत से एक्टर्स, बहुत से एंकर्स, बहुत से सुपरस्टार्स जो पाकिस्तान के होते हैं, उनको हम लाइव लेते हैं हमेशा एंड हम उनकी ज़िंदगी के बारे में पूछते हैं और हम सब कुछ करते हैं. पाकिस्तान में हमने एक चीज़ नोटिस की है कि सुपरस्टार्स के साथ, एक्टर्स के साथ, बहुत से फेमस पर्सनालिटीज़ के साथ एथलीट्स पीछे रह जाते हैं. तो दिस इनिशिएटिव बाय मैग्नस वी वर इंट्रोड्यूसिंग many एथलीट्स जो पाकिस्तान के लिए खेलते हैं. हम उनको लाइव लेकर आ रहे हैं. इससे पहले जितने भी एथलीट्स थे जिनका हमने इंटरव्यू किया और जितना उनके बाद आने वाले हैं उनका हम करने वाले हैं. सो आई बिलीव दैट यू आर गोइंग टू like it and you're going to actually be looking forward to it because this is first of its kind, and I believe that after this many people will start supporting their athletes. आज की जो हमारी guest है, she is basically someone that has played for Pakistan and she's just so amazing, so inspirational. आप खुद इस बात से अंदाज़ा लगा सकते हैं कि वो बहुत ज़्यादा इस बात से अंदाज़ा लगा सकते हैं कि वो जो पाकिस्तान के लिए खेलती है, किस जज्बे के साथ खेलती है और किस उम्र में वो खेलना शुरू किया था उन्होंने. 100 नेशनल टाइटल्स जीती हुई अभी तक. दैट इज़ समथिंग जो आपको हर रोज़ देखने को नहीं मिलता. सारा महबूब की मैं बात कर रही हूँ एंड शी इज़ गोइंग टू बी माई गेस्ट टुडे इन माई लाइव शो. शी वॉज 14 years old when she became Pakistan #1 nationals में. तो सबसे बड़ी बात ये है कि उनको इधर लाने का एक मकसद ये था कि जितनी भी लड़कियां या जितने भी बच्चे हैं जो टेनिस लेना चाहते हैं और उनको लगता है कि पाकिस्तान में उसके लिए प्लेटफॉर्म नहीं है, तो आई बिलीव कि ऐसे एथलीट्स जिन्होंने पाकिस्तान के लिए खेला हुआ है और वो कुछ करना चाहते हैं और जिन्होंने किया हुआ है उनसे इंस्पिरेशन ले, तभी जाके हम और उनकी तरह एथलीट्स प्रोड्यूस कर सकते हैं. सो आई एम गोइंग टू टेक सारा महबूब खान विद मी, who plays tennis internationally for Pakistan, and I mean, she's with us. I'm super
Hi.
thrilled to have you, Sarah. I just sent your Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for such a lovely introduction. It made my day.
Well, I'm glad you deserve it. You're such an inspiration.
So are you?
थोड़ा सा introduction. Thank you so much for this, but I believe you're the bigger one here. मैंने आपका थोड़ा सा introduction कर दिया है and I believe कि मुझे आपका time नहीं लेना इधर. It's your platform, it's your space, and you have to introduce yourself. So I'm like, the information that I have is like Sarah Mahboob Khan, she basically turned pro in 2005, which is like long ago, I would say. उस टाइम में मैंने भी नहीं सोचा था कि पाकिस्तान में टेनिस है कि नहीं. And at the age of 14, you became Pakistan #1. I mean, senior, professional. That is such a big thing. 14 साल की उम्र में कौन सोचता है कि मैं सबको बीट करके आगे चली जाऊंगी. And then by the time, I mean, 2011 तक, you literally retained that, like 14, 15, 16, 17, still so young, you remained Pakistan #1. So I'll let you introduce yourself further, because I believe you can do it better.
Yeah, nee, thank you so much for that, for saying all of that. मेरी इतनी तारीफें एक साथ शायद कभी नहीं हुई पहले. Yeah, so basically I started tennis when I was I think 7 or 8 years old. My father was my coach, so yeah, that's how it kind of happened. I was in Kuwait at the time. फिर हम पाकिस्तान मूव हुए in 2002. I was 11 at the time. तो वहाँ पे उस टाइम पे I started taking it a little more seriously because I won some under 12 tournaments, under 14 tournaments, and then in 2005, 4 actually, as you said, I won my first national tournament, and then I became #1 in 2005. And then that kind of continued for 6 years, I think. And then 2011 mein phir I had to take that difficult decision of going abroad, going to America on a full scholarship. Obviously, because resources itne zyada nahi the. Halanki, my dream was obviously to play internationally, but wo itna hum sustain nahi kar paye because, as you know, tennis is such an expensive sport. So we couldn't really do that. We couldn't sustain that. But मैंने सोचा कि I should get something out of it at least. If not, if I wasn't going to go pro, I thought I should at least, get an education in the US because, as you know, it is so expensive if you go there, and pay for it from your own pocket. So that's kind of how it happened.
Yeah. So I mean, at the age of 14, aap kiske? I mean, I would say, who was your against जब आप खेल रही थी, and how was it? I know I'm asking something like कि उस टाइम की फीलिंग अभी आप एक्सप्रेस नहीं कर सकती, but something that remains with you, आपके दिल के बहुत करीब, like the first ever time becoming Pakistan #1 and एक news flash आ जाता है and people say Sarah Mahboob Khan actually did that. So how exactly that experience was? I mean, I believe many kids want to listen to that.
I don't know about that, but yeah, ऐसे लग रहा है जैसे कि एक बड़ी कोई किसी different time की बात कर रहे हैं because it's, I don't know, 15, 16 years ago. I was so young at the time, यार. मुझे पता भी नहीं था कि, to be honest, हो क्या रहा है. I didn't understand the kind of how huge it was at the time. Obviously, I was 14 and I won a ladies championship for the first time. I just remember because मुझे ये होता था कि as long as my parents are happy, तो मुझे उस चीज़ की खुशी होती थी. मुझे ये नहीं अंदाज़ा था कि on a national level how big it was for a 14-year-old, but I would see my parents, being really proud of me. तो मुझे उस चीज़ की ज़्यादा खुशी होती थी. मुझे ये याद है कि when I won my first national, my mom or my dad they were not really expecting that at all. In fact, I remember my father had just walked away. वो अपने किसी friend के साथ बात करने शुरू हो गए थे. He was like not even, मतलब उनको उम्मीद ही नहीं थी. And then I ran up to him and I was like, I won. And so yeah, I remember that.
में जो होता है. I mean, Dangal mein, that one scene where he's stuck somewhere and then all of a sudden he hears.
I love that movie. Yeah. I love that movie. Yeah. That's such an inspirational movie. And when I saw that movie, मुझे अपना थोड़ा सा उसमें, because the relationship between the father and the daughters, I could really relate to that because, as I said, my dad has been coaching me. So yeah, that was really inspirational.
Yeah, so that's where I wanted to come. Like, I mean, since I have seen in many pictures and I have like जितनी भी videos वगैरह है, मैंने हमेशा आपके अब्बा को आपके साथ देखा हुआ, and that's very inspiring because most of the time in Pakistan, especially, I would say in many countries, कि parents ज़्यादा कहते हैं कि आपका sport में career, especially I would say Pakistan again, कि पाकिस्तान में sports career इतना आगे तक नहीं जाता, तो parents ज़्यादा support नहीं करते. But I have seen one thing, कि your father was always supportive, and I have always seen him with you in so many pictures and so many videos. So what exactly was his role in your life and like in your career? Of course, in life, father is a very significant figure, but career mein, how supportive he was?
Well, let me put it this way. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be playing tennis. Because आपको पता है कि as a woman, to play a sport, to do anything actually in our society, जिसमें, we were successful, whether it's on a tennis court or whether if you're, you have a good job or whatever it may be, it's not really, हमेशा लोग टांग खींचते हैं कि ये लड़की हो के क्यों, like it's something that it's sort of hard to digest for people, even in this day and age. I mean, obviously, even educated people at times, so if it wasn't for my father, I really don't think I would have been able to play tennis because he was my coach and he was the one who pushed me the most. In fact, कई दफा I remember when I was a kid and I wanted to be like other kids because none of my friends in school used to play any sport. And so I always felt like the odd one out because they used to always be like, अच्छा तुम स्कूल के बाद घर नहीं, तुम सीधा टेनिस कोर्ट्स पे चली जाती हो. तो मतलब I never went to any birthday parties. I never went to anything. So my life was totally different, and thanks to my dad. But he pushed me so much, and he made me feel like, you know, this is something that's okay to do for a girl. And so I grew up with that mindset that it's okay for girls to do whatever they want to do, whether it's a sport or anything else. And yeah, I mean, फिर ज़ाहिर है लोग फिर बातें भी नहीं करते, you know, because they saw that my dad was with me all the time, कि उनका एक वो साया था हमेशा मेरे ऊपर. तो whenever I used to travel for tournaments, या कहीं भी nationally, internationally, my father always went with me. And that is actually the reason why my mother was actually okay with it as well, because उनको भी इत्मीनान होता था कि my father is with me. And so yeah, both of them were so supportive, and I'm actually very lucky that I had their support, because if it wasn't for them, I don't think I would have played it. Because जैसे कि आपने बोला कि हमारी सोसाइटी में लड़कियों को पुश ही नहीं करते स्पोर्ट्स की तरफ. It's not even a thought in parents' minds. बस लड़की को बस पढ़ा लो थोड़ा बहुत और फिर उसकी शादी करा दो. That's it.
I would say दोनों या मतलब जितने भी genders हैं उनका ये तस्वुर करना कि हम पाकिस्तान में स्पोर्ट्स खेलते हैं, दैट इज लाइक हमेशा पेरेंट्स हमेशा सोचते, मेरी अम्मी खुद सोचती है, पहले सोचती थी अब नहीं सोचती, बट लाइक आई मीन for her or for any parent, they think that it is going to be such a big risk, क्योंकि there's no you can say there is no security कि ये career sustain होगा कि नहीं होगा. So उसमें मतलब seeing the unseen is such a big thing, and parents like your father seeing that seeing the unseen कि ऐसे हो सकता है, and he saw your future. And then so we're going to come to your decision of going to the US. Like most of the time हमारे पाकिस्तान में स्पेशली एक स्टीरियोटाइप है कि जो बच्चा स्पोर्ट्स में ज़्यादा अच्छा है तो वो पढ़ाई में इतना अच्छा नहीं हो सकता, और बहुत सा ऐसे होता है ना कि पढ़ के क्या करोगे, ग्रेड्स अच्छे नहीं आएंगे, स्कॉलरशिप्स नहीं मिलेगी. लेकिन बाकी मैंने बहुत से फ्रेंड्स को मेरे देखा है, आपको मैंने देखा है कि स्कॉलरशिप्स मिल जाती है और बहुत अच्छी यूनिवर्सिटीज में मिल जाती है. सो योर डिसीजन ऑफ गोइंग टू द यूएस, हाउ वाज दैट? आई मीन व्हाट एग्जैक्टली?
So as I told you a little bit अभी शुरू में कि there came a point जब मैं पाकिस्तान number 1 थी. It was my 6th year straight of being number 1, and you know, my father and I and my mother as well, we used to talk about my options कि अब आगे क्या करना है, because पाकिस्तान का जो गोल था वो अचीव कर लिया था. उसके बाद my dream was and my parents' dream was, you know, for me to play internationally. But हमें एक आधा कभी स्पॉन्सर मिल जाता था 1-2 ट्रिप्स के लिए, फिर हम चले जाते थे, फिर हम वापस आ जाते थे. एंड बट इन ऑर्डर टू गेन एन इंटरनेशनल रैंकिंग, you have to kind of be on the international tour consistently. You can't just play 2 tournaments and then come back, and you know, so it was really hard for us to kind of pay for all that from our own pocket. Obviously it's extremely expensive. So then I decided, a friend of mine kind of spoke to me about it, you know, why don't you try to go to the US? You know, that way you're going to be, everything's going to be paid for, you're going to play for your college for 4 years and you'll get a degree. And obviously wahan pe jo competition hota hai, even on the collegiate level, it's amazing. You know, you get to play with so many people every weekend, you travel for tournaments and everything. So I took that decision. I went to America in 2011. I went to the University of New Mexico. I was there for 2 years, and then I transferred to James Madison University in Virginia. I was there for another 2 years, and then I graduated in 2015. And yeah, so that was kind of the decision. It was a hard decision. It wasn't easy, obviously, because I'm an only child, and especially for my mother. जब मैंने शुरू में idea उनको बताया था कि मैंने बाहर जाना पढ़ने के लिए, तो I got a very firm no from her. She was like, बिल्कुल भी नहीं. Like, I can't let you go. We don't have any family in America. We don't have anyone there. How are you gonna, you know, manage yourself? And तो मैंने उनसे थोड़ा सा छुप के कह लो, मैंने कोचेस से बात करना शुरू कर दी थी अमेरिका में. You know, I was talking to them. I started my whole process. And to be honest, I didn't really believe that I was gonna get it. मैंने वैसे ही शुरू कर दिया था. मैंने कहा देखते हैं क्या होता है. And it just escalated, and I ended up getting a few scholarship offers. And that's when I told my mom. I was like, because my father was already agreeable. उन्होंने कहा था चले जाओ अगर, you know, if you have an opportunity.
पापा ने कह दिया कि चले जाओ तो चले जाओ.
हाँ, but the final verdict वो from my mother वो अभी तक आया नहीं था. So I told her when I got a scholarship offer, I told her about it. Then she was like, अच्छा मिल गई है, तो बड़ी खुश हुई. And then she was like, अच्छा ठीक है चलो फिर, you know. Then she supported me. I mean, it's incredible. It was really difficult for her, but then she sent me. So yeah, To
So
this
this
day,
is like,
I
I
was
mean,
talking to,
whoever is watching it right now and they think that athletes cannot study on scholarship, this is for you. She studied at such a big university in the
exactly.
US, 100% scholarship, and still playing. I mean, if you guys have any doubt कि ऐसे नहीं होता, तो she's an example. So
होता
yeah.
है और इनफैक्ट होना चाहिए बिकॉज आई फील लाइक एज यू सेड अर्लियर कि काफी हमारे एथलीट्स हैं पाकिस्तान में जो कि you know they kind of as they say put all their eggs in one basket and they're like नहीं हमने sports ही करनी है और हमने कुछ और नहीं करना पढ़ना नहीं है स्कूल नहीं जाना which I feel like is very risky because you know with sports you never know as you said कुछ भी हो सकता है you know अल्लाह ना करे कभी कोई इंजरी हो सकती है कुछ हो सकता है sometimes you don't have enough funds बहुत सारी ऐसी चीजें होती हैं which kind of you know, so you need to have like a plan B. You need to be, I think education is really important, you know, for your grooming, you know, to be presentable and just to have something to fall back on because you can't play your sport forever. There comes a time in every athlete's life where they have to make that difficult decision to retire, as difficult as it is. But you know, it's the reality. So it's definitely important to have some sort of educational background, I think.
So we have one question by Ashraf Bhai, of course. He had sent his question both pehle se. So the question is, who is your favorite male and female player and why?
Male, though, without a doubt, Roger Federer. Don't have to think twice about it. Ever since I can remember, I have idolized him. I have watched him play. Before he even won his first Wimbledon, I remember 2002 ki baat hai, tab se I've been following him. Not only because he's the greatest tennis player to ever play the game, but even off the court, his persona, his attitude, the way he is as a person. I mean, it's incredible to see the person that he is, and I really, really, you know, look up to him. And female, that's a tough one actually, because when I was really
There are
young,
so
like
many now.
yeah, there's so many. And then Sharapova was someone I used to look up to a lot. 2003, 2004 ki baat hai when she was 17 and she had just won her first Wimbledon, and I used to really look up to her a lot. I followed her
And
career
she was so
and
pretty.
everything.
तो ऐसे ही लोगों को वैसे वो
Yeah,
बेचारी
and her
attract करती
style.
है.
Nee,
It's like,
but it's not about that though. Like I don't know if you've seen her matches. I mean,
I have. She played very well.
You must have noticed that her focus throughout her career from the time that she turned pro when she was 14 till she retired this year. Performance uski results upar niche hote honge, but her focus was always impeccable. It was always there, and her fighting spirit, and that is something that I really looked up to her for that reason. So yeah, her, and then later on Naomi Osaka.
Yeah, of course. She was.
Yeah.
She just like came and she was like, "Who is she?" And then all of a sudden, she just she
like a better
she was
version
so
of Serena Williams, I would say.
yeah. I mean, I remember when she won her the first title against Serena Williams, and
US
I
Open,
jumped. Yeah, I jumped from the bed. I was like, "Oh my god, that's so inspiring!" Because she's my age. So I was like, "Okay, she's my age. She did such a big thing." You know, I was like, "Okay." तो
Exactly.
मुझे उस टाइम पे बहुत लगा था. So coming to the struggles, of course, since मेरी भी struggles और बहुत सी लड़कियों की struggles होती है, इसी तरह आपकी भी ऐसी बहुत सी struggles होती होंगी टेनिस खेलते हो, since it's a very expensive game. तो उसमें ऐसी कोई struggle where you actually thought कि I'm going to give up and then you never did. You just like fought back. कि, okay, fine. Finances, I know about that. Finances is such a big problem in Pakistan. But apart from that, something that was so negative, something about your dress, something about you playing, something very discouraging, and you felt like, I do not want to play anymore. And then something happened and you came back.
Well, I mean, obviously, आपको पता है हमारी society कैसी है when it comes to women. We spoke about it a little bit earlier. It's not easy to take up a sport because there's a lot of people left, right, and even people in your own family who जो कि बड़ा एतराज़ करते हैं कि अच्छा इसको आप अपनी My parents actually heard it a lot more than I did कि अच्छा आप अपनी बेटी को टेनिस खिला रहे हैं, अच्छा तो फिर पढ़ाई भी मैं साथ साथ कर रही थी तो वो कुछ कह नहीं सकते थे बट फिर भी कोई ना किसी तरीके से they used to try to criticize us and the decision that my parents took to put me into a sport. But I don't think there was anything that ever happened which made me think that I don't want to play the sport anymore. There has never been a point in my life where I said that I don't want to play tennis anymore. I mean, of course, wo hota hai na kabhi kabhi, sometimes when you lose a really tough match, like a really heartbreaking match. I mean, I can remember a few matches which I lost after having a match point. And the un matches ke baad for like maybe the next half an hour, I think to myself, oh my God, this sport is so cruel. And sometimes you play really well and still you can't win for some reason, right? And so that.
How do you feel like? How do you feel about when people say you after that kind of match points and stuff, you still have managed 100 titles national? I mean, जब मैंने आपको बोला मेरा दिल कर रहा है मैं आपके घर आऊँ and see all the trophies, like 100, एक नहीं, दो नहीं, 10 नहीं, 20 नहीं, 100. I mean, how do you feel about it? It's incredible.
It feels really good, because obviously as a sports person, the whole point is कि, in fact, I was talking about this with a friend the other day कि हार जीत हर sport में होती है. No matter how good you are, you will lose, right? You will lose some tough matches. But playing a sport from such a young age, it teaches you certain life skills. It teaches you how to deal with adversity. It teaches you how to work under pressure. It teaches you how to kind of come back up after a heartbreaking loss. So over time, बचपन से इतने मैचेस जीते हैं, हारे हैं, इतना कुछ हुआ है कि अब at this point I feel like I'm very seasoned and I know how to bring myself back up, or after a loss. So I give myself like one day to like whine and crib about it and be sad, and then after that I tell myself, okay, that's enough, now we have to get back up and get back to business, because you can't live life like that. Not just sport, but even in life, if something bad happens to you, you can't just think about it and just be so down on yourself. I mean, you have to get back up because life goes on, and you always have a chance in the next tournament or in the next event, whatever. So that's kind of how I deal with it. That's how my parents kind of taught me how to deal with it.
I mean, that's so incredible. You're down one day and the next day you come and grab another trophy. Okay, fine, I have to make a collection out of it. 100,
But that's where the fire and the desire and the hunger comes from, that, na? Especially jab aap koi tough match haarte hain, then you desire to kind of come back, stronger. जब आप जीतते हैं तो आप में वो desire इतना शायद नहीं होता जितना हारने के बाद होता है. So I think for that reason it's really important.
Go to something fun. I mean, before our audience actually get very like bored, I wouldn't say that your life that is so inspiring. इससे कोई bored हो सकता है, but at the same time
काफी serious बातें होगी है. Yeah.
Something different. So I'm going to start with the rapid round, and you just have to like say anything. I mean, गलत भी हो गया, but you just have to be very rapid. So there are going to be mixed questions and stuff and everything. So let's start. Favorite book?
Reclaim Your Heart by Yasmin Mujahid. I'm reading it again right now, actually. Yeah.
Okay. Favorite quote?
Sorry?
Favorite quotation?
There's so many, but there's one by Billie Jean King. Pressure is a privilege.
Favorite series, like any series that you love to watch?
Like a TV show. I don't know. There's so many. I lately have been watching Netflix. There's a series called You. It's a bit of a So.
Yeah. So hill station or city side? Where would you want to live?
Hill station.
Okay. Milkshake or soda? What do you prefer?
Milkshake.
Cricket or tennis?
Tennis.
Yeah. Italian or Pakistani? I mean, food.
Oh, that's a tough one. I'm such a huge foodie, but right now, Italian.
Okay. Book reading or movie? What do you prefer?
Reading.
Okay. Adventure or sleeping?
Adventure.
Okay. Rain or sunshine?
Sunshine.
Okay. When was Pakistan created?
1947.
Okay.
I was hoping this wasn't a trick question.
Yeah, I had to make it interesting. So, okay, so who was the winner of 2019 US Open tennis? Female.
And 2019, Naomi
That was
Osaka. Was
someone
that 18?
that was 18.
Oh God, who won last year?
She's she's new. She's from Canada. So,
Oh, Bianca and Rescue.
yeah, okay. And who was the male player? Of course.
Djokovic.
Wasn't it? Okay, yeah. Might be
I
me
think.
wrong. Okay. Yeah.
I
Okay.
could be
Who
wrong,
was the
actually.
WTA Player of the Year female?
WTA Player of the Year.
Yep.
Serena Williams.
Nah, she plays cricket as well. She's from Australia. She's my age. Yeah, I've been like.
She's Australian and she was Player of the Year. Are you sure?
Yeah, I am.
Ashley Barty.
Yeah, she's so amazing. I mean, she is so amazing. Just imagine you play cricket and then you come back and you just like win so many titles. Like,
She's incredible.
Yeah.
She's incredible. Yeah.
So there is this one question, which is like, which tennis player has made his debut on main tour at the Chennai Open in 2001? It's very easy.
Where is he from? Can I get a hint?
He's from Pakistan, of course.
Oh, acha, Assam bhai, Assam al Haq.
Of course, yeah. I mean, it's like you were thinking Gazo. He's from Pakistan. See, that's the whole point. That we need more of these kind of live sessions because people do not think ये सारी चीजें हम करते हैं. So it's like this thing has been done by someone Pakistani, and we still are like, कौन है?
Assam bhai to, unka to, like, I mean, he's a world-class player. He is absolutely incredible. Yeah.
So we have like we're left with a bit of time, so I'm going to just like ask what exactly you want to give advice to parents or anyone who's taking up tennis or anyone कि क्या होना चाहिए क्या नहीं होना चाहिए. What exactly do you think that has pushed you to this point where you have 100 titles? I'm such a big fan of that. But yeah,
sweet.
What do you think it should be? Yeah.
Advice? I think the only advice that I can think of is that put your kids in sports, especially girls, because लड़के तो फिर खेलते रहते हैं, but especially in this day and age, there's so many girls in our country who are so talented, लेकिन उनका talent कभी नजर ही नहीं आता. They have so much potential, but उनको खुद नहीं पता होता कि हमारा potential क्या है, because उनको उस environment में कभी डाला ही नहीं होता. एक तो हमारा school का जो system है वो भी इतना it's purely academic. उनको push नहीं करते to play sport. So yeah, put your kids in sports and let them play with their strengths. Let them see what they're good at. And there's no harm in girls playing sports. In fact, it's a great thing. It keeps you away from a lot of negativity. It's a healthy activity. So I think girls, women, everyone should be encouraged to do that.
Yeah, I mean, and what is for the younger girls?
Yeah, that they can do anything that they want. Don't listen to the society, because our society is day by day getting really messed up. If you think about it, everyone is so judgmental, especially when it comes to women. People love to tell women what to do, what not to do, what to wear, what not to wear. So don't listen to anyone. Just do what you want to do. Just block everything out.
Just do it.
And don't be scared. Don't be scared of anyone's opinions. Don't be scared of anything. Just do what you want to do. And it's pretty simple.
Yeah, so it was lovely having you, and I believe that all of the audience, they must have enjoyed it. I really hope so. And we're bringing people like Sarah to your screen to actually inspire you कि हाँ हमारे पास भी ऐसे लोग हैं जो पाकिस्तान के लिए खेलते हैं. She has represented Pakistan at South Asian Games. She has represented Pakistan at Asian Games. She has gone to study at the US University on 100% scholarship. She is not that kind of the idea where you say कि athlete है तो पढ़ा नहीं है. She's one of the amazing athlete of Pakistan. So whoever
You're too
is
sweet.
watching it, I mean, you guys should just like keep watching the show. I believe there are so many people like her are coming to your screen, and I believe that that is going to give us more push, because अगर हम एक दूसरे को देखते हैं तभी जाके हम inspire होते हैं. So just stay tuned with us, and thank you so much for being like, I mean, giving me your time.
Yeah,
And
of
it's
course.
been
Thank you for
such a,
having me. It
yeah,
was such a
I'm
pleasure to
such
talk to
a
you because हम
fan.
Instagram पे तो बात करते ही रहते हैं. But
Yeah,
it
so
was
I'm
nice to
such a
talk to you
big
face to face.
fan of yours, and thanks to Magnus for providing this platform to all of us. We're going to bring more people, and stay tuned with us. Thank you so much, Sarah, and Allah Hafiz.
Bye.